You can see we have a change of scenery in the bonus room here. And I've got 3 sawhorses set up here and what looks to be a whole lot of molding all around the bonus room spread out. Over there we've got the 5 1/4 molding that's going to go in the base of the walls. There's enough there to cover this room and I believe the closet. I don't think there's enough to go into bedroom number 3 over there at the end of the hall, but we'll get to that point when we get there. And then there's a bunch of cord around here, and I mean a lot. And I think there's enough there to cover the entire upstairs. So we got a little bit to go on here. The price on these boards here, when I first calculated all of these, were like $14.50. They went up by 50%. Now each one is like $23 or $22 and some change. Crazy, crazy increase in price on the wood. So got to do it though, and had to spend the money. So it was for the 11 pieces, it was like an extra $80, but it's crazy how much wood has gone up over the last several months. And then we've got some pine sitting over here, and this is unfinished. So I'm gonna have to go through and finish that off, and I might as well spill the beans right now. That pine is gonna go around the outside here for molding to decorate that piece up where we're gonna put the bookcase. And then we're also gonna put pine on the inside, so when you do open it up, you'll see the finished molding still. However, we are not going to put in a bookcase. We decided against that because what happens is if you have a bookcase here that's this wide and I try to open it this way, it's really gonna take up a lot of floor space. As you can see, it'll just open up like this, which means you won't be able to put any furniture or anything here, or if you do put any furniture, you would have to move it. And we wanted to try to avoid that. So my wife, as smart as she is, came up with a great idea. We are simply going to put in a barn door on a roller. And that is going to slide from left to right. And we're just gonna buy the hardware. We're gonna take the pine and go around the, finish the outside off, and then put probably a runner in to hook the rail to if I find the right hardware for it. I'd rather not put that on, but if we have to, we will. And I'm gonna build a barn door out of some of the spare wood that we have downstairs and make it a nice slider. That way we can keep furniture in front of it and make it permanent. And I'll stain it the same as I did for the tread that's at the top of the stairs. I have the same color stain, or it'll be a little darker like I did for the swing set if you saw that video. And we'll put that up there, and I think it's gonna look fantastic. So that's the plan right now, and we're gonna come up here and paint these. The other reason why we are painting up here is because it is starting to get a little bit colder outside. I had been doing all the painting in the garage, and the temperatures are starting to drop into the 40s and 30s, and the paint's not gonna hold its consistency very well at those temperatures. So we're just gonna paint everything up here and let it dry, and then I'll just move them to the side and put new ones on the sawhorses to be painted. The only thing I am going to do out in the garage is the stain, because it has such a strong odor to it. So we're gonna measure them up here for the barn door, but then cut and then stain downstairs, and we'll bring them back up after they dry. So that's where we stand, and we will give you another update here shortly. I've started painting the base molding, as you can see here. I brought up a couple of extra sawhorses so I can put the ones that have been painted on this side to dry. And we've got 4 done so far. We're gonna start these here pretty soon. But that's gonna be the normal mode of process for the next day or so while we get all these painted up with the finished ultra white paint that we're using. And then I'm gonna go down to these over here, which there's, I don't know, 12, 15, maybe 18 quarter round pieces that I need to paint. These are going pretty quick though. It only takes me a few minutes to get each one of these done. and it goes down pretty well, maybe 5 minutes per, so it's not too bad. I expect the same thing over here. And again, it'll take a day or so to get all these done, and then we'll be able to start putting the molding on the floor and getting this bonus room closer to being done. All right, we have finished all of the painting of the base molding and quarter round, and it's all racked up here. There were actually 24 pieces of the quarter round that I had, but it still went pretty quick. And we've got the other 11 pieces of base molding sitting over there. And then what I went ahead and did, I had some scrap pieces, more or less, that I pulled off the existing walls that were in the hallway and in daughter number one's room before we bought new ones for that room. And I decided to paint the 4 pieces that you see here with the finished paint also. We'll use those somewhere. And so we maximize our usage out of the wood since it's so expensive. And then I've got some smaller pieces out of here that were taken out of like the closet and against the stairway. I'm not gonna do anything with those yet. They're really small, and most likely we will not be using those because I really don't have a spot in here where it's so small that I have to cut something off other than maybe that corner down there. I mean, if you look at all of the lengths that I need, there's a small piece there, but everything's about 2 feet minimum where I'm going to be putting the molding. So that's going to come off the bigger pieces, obviously, one piece. So really don't have a whole lot to do there with that molding, so I didn't paint that. So we are done with painting all the molding from what I can see, and we are going to move on to the molding and casing that goes around the sliding door that I just mentioned. Surprise, surprise. So with that, we are going to close this one out and call it a day, and then we will see you at the next series. So until then, peace out.